Welcome everybody to our update meeting that we hold on typically on Mondays and Thursdays of each week. What we try to do is take care of a few issues that are pressing and get an update on COVID issues and any new cases and anything related to COVID.
No.
I would start with updates. Our health agent.
You said you may be doing septic systems.
Okay. So that means you guys are up. Do you want to flip for who starts first?
I have nothing on my end.
In that case.
Technically, no, we had one case this weekend, but I guess it was a repeat, someone that got multiple tests and made them mark them in as a new case, but other than that, it's all that.
Okay. So I believe we had on the agenda, we had moved it from last week, was material removal at 415 Plymouth Street. I believe we're here.
Thank you.
If you have a seat next to the keys, that'd be great. So what happened is that I had received calls or emails from people about the possibility of removing, and it's different descriptions at various times of material from 415 Plymouth Street. We've had issues before about earth removal from the property. Talking to the board last week, the board thought the best thing was to have any interested parties in to talk with the board before any material is removed, to determine whether a permit was going to be needed depending on the type of material and the amounts and things like that. You're Corey?
Yes, sir.
Monty, or is it
Monty.
Monty, okay.
Yes, sir.
And can you tell me, who asked you to go in there to remove material? Was it Joe or was it John?
It was John.
John, okay. And John had called me earlier today saying that someone would be here, so I don't believe this is a Joe Peck project. I believe this is a John Peck project.
Okay.
So, you know, rather than deal with complaints or anything, while the process was going on, I thought it was better to get ahead of the game, have the board determine whether a permit was needed. If it wasn't, the board would know the material that was being removed, the amount of material that was being removed, when it would be removed. So if we got a complaint, we'd already have a backup information to respond to the complaint.
How are we for the complaints that have been registered?
We're all settled.
We're all settled,
yes.
What type of material are we looking to take off?
It's just the decomposable materials like leaves, wood chips, old manure. It's nothing that's being removed from the ground or anything.
Okay, so it's basically innocuous. So nobody would have a problem with us if we were to take a look at it first?
Absolutely.
Only because it's been controversial down there?
Absolutely.
Just avoids issues in the future?
I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
The only question I would have is that Joey represented to us before that it was all under his control
Right.
now. So,
Yeah, I don't think, because I just verified this a few minutes ago, John Peck is the trustee of the family trust, so he's really in control of the property. So anything on the property is really John, regardless of whether Joey is involved or not.
the only reason why I bring that up is because the reason that we moved forward with the waiving of the fine and all that was because it was represented to us that Joey was in charge and not John.
Yeah, he may have, in fact, had some authority to do that from John, but in terms of actual ownership, well.
And in terms of this particular project, Joe is saying he's not part of it.
Yeah, we waived the requirement of the site plan, we waived all that stuff, and then to have something come back now and say the opposite of what was told to us.
Well, again, I think the question now is whether or not the material that's being proposed to be removed falls under the bylaw. If it does, then you have to act accordingly. If it doesn't, same deal.
that's why I'm suggesting, to avoid any problem here, to verify what it is we're taking off, what someone is taking off the property. I think that way, if there's a problem that's up front, everybody knows it. I don't know if anyone has a problem with that approach.
How much material is being proposed to be removed, Corey?
It's hard to say, but I'd probably say there's probably close to like 800 to 1,000 yards of material, which is maybe like 20 to 25 truckloads of material.
And you're saying it's basically, you said leaves and manure?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, I'm going up that periodically and cleaning up the material and stacking up for John, and it's kind of like a kind of excessive.
Has any material that you're aware of been brought off-site in the sense of from other places to 415?
Not really, I think it's just more or less some stuff around the property.
Well, I don't know, I had a conversation with Joe, and he had suggested that some people have been dropping off clippings and whatnot.
I haven't really seen much of, I haven't seen any trucks wherever they're going.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting I'm assuming we'll need permission to go on the property.
Well, John had said he didn't specifically mention any individuals, but he said everybody except one person, but he didn't tell me who that person was welcome to visit the property. But I think if the board does it as a group, then it's a board meeting, you know, generally site visit doesn't require a meeting notice, but we could do it officially, and then therefore the members are going to be there. If John doesn't want any, whether it's one party or anybody down there, then the board can say, fine, we're not allowing this until you allow everybody there.
Well, what happens if one of the board members is the person that's not allowed on the property?
Well, that's my point, is that if John does not want a board member on the property to inspect this situation, then the board can simply say, fine, we're not going to allow any material to be removed, because until all board members are satisfied that this is the material that's being removed, it either falls under the bylaw, it doesn't fall under the bylaw, and then we move on. Either they get a permit, if it's material, for instance, earth, soil, gravel, etc., or if it's leaves, no, leaves don't fall under this, manure does not fall under this. But I think it's, I think
Seems reasonable.
I think the board, all three members should be able to visit.
Well, I think then we pose it that way, the board, and assuming everybody wants to look at this,
I always like a little dirt.
it's a dirty business. Yeah, so let's propose it that way, that the board convene on the property at a time.
Well, contact Ron, we'll have to post 48 hours in advance, but
Okay. Do we need a motion for that?
yes, please.
Can I get a motion that we convene on the property with advance notice?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We'll try to do it soon, get a hold of Joe, we can do it relatively quickly.
Make your job that much easier.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we'll try to do it this week and get it over with. Great, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, I have a lot of signings of things here.
That's also.
Yeah, thanks.
First is the new contract with 5 builders for the work over at Colts Avenue, $73,280. Pardon?
Did you say 72 or 73?
73.
Okay.
73,
It was 73, I thought I heard you say 72, sorry. We need a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Second one is Center for Tech and Civic Life. What this is a grant to the town clerk for election expenses. And basically anything that she felt she wasn't getting reimbursed by COVID, CARES, or by the state for whatever reasons. So she was able to get a grant of $5,000. It only needs one copy and one signature. This would be with Tom, but the board can authorize Tom to sign on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
The board can award the contract. I didn't type up the contract, unfortunately, but I'll get it done. For the heating oil, for the buildings. This was two bids. Basically, it's based on the difference in the rack rate and what we would actually charge. I think, remember right, let's see. Crude Oil had given us a markup of 50 cents, and they had given us a markup of, so he, of 28 cents.
One per packet.
I think so. Okay. I didn't look for any others, I just looked at the last two.
Yeah, there were 2 copies of the E5, there was only 1 copy of the thing that Tom needed to sign. So fuel oil, I recommend the board award the contract to Devaney.
What, I'm sorry.
So this is the heating oil contract for the town buildings that don't have natural gas. So what happens, we go out to bid, we say, what's the markup going to be versus the rack price? Devaney did 28 cents for the markup, and Curdy did 50 cents on the markup.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Okay, so who first and who second?
Sure.
Troy moved, Gordon seconded. We have a letter from the beautification committee. What's funny is they sent out the letter from last year, so I'll hold this to next Thursday to get the correct letter. The fire chief back last week already had mentioned the CMS approval. The
Yes.
community member, so we already got that done. On the pumper, the Greenwood has proposed a couple of possible payment options, but basically, the earlier we pay, the less money we pay. They're giving us an annual discount of 2.75%, meaning that we could, if we wanted to pay the full amount minus the discount within the next couple of weeks, we'd save almost $14,000. If we want to pay a sum of money early, then we still get that discount, it's just against only that money that we've paid. What we've done in the past for these large pieces of equipment is usually something on the order of 50-50. We'll pay 50% up front, we'll get a discount on that, pay 50% at the end when it's delivered. Obviously, so there's a variety of options, all sorts of options, basically. I talked to Sandy about it, and the rate is extremely attractive in the sense of if we invested our money in a CD, we would get nothing like that rate. We'd be lucky to get 0.75% on a CD for a year for this amount of money. We're getting in essence 2.75%. So financially, forgetting about handing someone a check and hoping they're going to give you something back.
Hoping they're going to be there.
Right. But, and Greenwood's fairly established.
Yeah,
No, and I understand, which is why we have all the same costs. I mean, generally, we would not hand a check to someone for $555,000 and hope that a year later, but.
Then we have a performance bond.
Okay.
So that.
I was just going to ask about that, as long as there's a bond.
Yeah, I talked to Larry about it, and that was his, he was wanting to, he was finishing up putting the contract together, and he wanted to try in that, and they will provide a performance bond. Greenwood's been in service for 45 years.
But still,
You never know.
anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I guess the question really is going to be, what is the board comfortable with any prepayment? In the sense of financially it makes good sense for the town, obviously if we've got the performance bond to back them up.
It's $14,000, we can do something else.
Yeah.
Those are really nice.
Just the performance bond for the whole.
Yes, they would give us for the 555, if that's the route you went. So like Charlie said, you can pick any number you want, if you committed, if you went the whole 555, they're telling you, they will give you 14,000, I'm just rounding off. Or even if they deliver the truck in 250 days. The other options, if we go with a number number less than that, they'll give us 2.75 for however amount of time it takes them to deliver the truck. So it's a little, if we go less than the full amount, it's a little bit different, but still, the time frame is still,
Yeah.
no, it's still 2.75 during that time frame, but in theory, it would be more than 2.75 if they delivered the truck in 300 days versus 365.
I'm good with 2.75 in any event, and as long as there's a performance bond.
Is there a cost to the bottom?
That's included in the price of the
Yeah, that's on that.
Yeah.
I don't have any issue with it. Sounds like a win-win situation.
Yeah, it does.
Make the motion to approve the full amount.
Second.
All those in favor?
Let's see. I have given you copies of what happened in the executive session from July 18th. That litigation's concluded. Needed to get that checked off in the sense of having the board approve those minutes. I didn't know if the board wanted to carry that over to Thursday or if the board was ready to approve them. I know the court obviously has to recuse himself on that.
Yeah.
Or he was absent, and nothing else.
So they approved the public, the
Well, both.
regular session, so he can approve it. He can-
Well, he could approve, but he recused himself. He was
Okay.
attended the meeting, but recused.
Okay,
On the
for the
votes.
executive.
I don't know how do you feel about that. You good with it?
It's really up to you.
Yeah, I don't have any problems.
Yeah, I
I have no issues.
If someone would move to approve the minutes, please.
Move.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Recuse.
More contracts, we have one with the highway union for the 1.6% increase that was approved by the town meeting. Then we also have the either new or amended contracts with the fire chief and police chief based on the amounts that were approved at town meeting also. The board would officially approve those contracts today.
Do you want to vote on individually?
Yeah, please.
I move that the site of the amended contract with the highway union.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have to move the.
Yeah, the
The
fire
chiefs, yeah.
We do.
Move.
I'll second.
Which one?
Fire chief.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
I move to sign the contract with police chief.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
So do we have you guys for another 6 months a week?
We're just setting in, don't worry.
Can't really track it.
I don't have anything else. With the public hearing, looks like we're going to continue to this Thursday. Just before the meeting started, I got a confirmation from National Grid that someone will be here this Thursday.
Did they give you the reason why they left?
I really wasn't worried about that. I mean,
Yeah, but that's rude.
I understand, but I don't know what happened. You could always ask what happened. At this point, I was more interested in making sure that the neighbors had an opportunity to have someone here from National Grid to meet with everybody and get their issues resolved. So that's setting up for Thursday. I do need to go in executive session with the board and the police chief to talk about patrol officer contracts. Yes, you, sir. It says we had police negotiations, patrol officer negotiations last week. So when the board is ready, the board, Tom could accept a motion to go into executive session to discuss collective bargaining with patrol officers. In that public discussion of said collective bargaining agreement would be detrimental to the town's negotiating position.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
And roll call.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Mr. Millius? Yes. We will not be taking up any other business.